Good morning. My name is Michelle Saling. I'm the guided spiritual director for the Sacred Journey of Life. And we're going to deliver messages here, given the fact that there's a whole new set of circumstances, not only the new season, but that we're all living inside this thing called COVID-19. We begin to now include that in the pattern in our lives and just go back into lessons now that reach us each personally, that are still impacting us personally, even given the externals outside of us. The source of our message today is the language of John Bradbury and the guidance and present for your healing today by the angels Raziel and Metatron, and I call her my kick-ass sidekick guide who may uh, add some things in today, was Mary Magdalene. So right now, if we would just take a few breaths to center ourselves. Just bring in some white light and dismiss any aches or pains in your bodies. Be comfortable. Turn off your ringer. Breathe in. And one more time. Thank you. And thank you for your listening. If a small number of people gather lovingly together with absolute purity and sanctity, with their hearts free of the world, experiencing the emotions of the kingdom and the powerful magnetic forces of the divine, and being at one in their happy fellowship, this gathering, will exert its influence over all of the earth. The nature of that band of people, we, us, the words they speak, the deeds they do, will unleash the bestowals of heaven and provide a foretaste of eternal bliss. Title of the message for today. This is going to actually take us into the lessons we're going to do in February that are going to come from, be around, be sourced in that topic called relationships and love, true love, unconditional love, romantic love, human love. Being that Valentine's Day is on February 14th, we're going to be continuing some of the thoughts that we picked up today. Now, moving into today's formality, first thing is blessings. What is a blessing? A blessing is a circle of light drawn around a person to protect, heal, and strengthen. Life is a constant flow of emergence. The beauty of blessing is its belief that it can affect what unfolds. When a blessing is invoked, a window opens in eternal time. So I'd like you to just close your eyes for a minute. Begin with yourself, and send out blessings now to those people who've been on your mind this week. Maybe you're not even in communication with them. But take these next couple of minutes to bless. Thank you. And now Ronnie Weiss.
This song is called All About You. It's a gospel tune. Anita Wilson does a wonderful job with it. Take a listen if you have a chance on YouTube. I see the sunrise over the horizon, and I'm grateful for another day. Because of your love, I can face any challenge comes my way. Only in you I live, I move, and I have my being. I surrender my will to yours. Make me who I am in you. In Christ I can do all things. It really doesn't matter if the enemy tries to harm me, 'cause no weapon formed will be able to prosper. I will let my light so shine so everyone can see, not me, but he who started a good work in me, he shall complete it. I will pursue what pleases you. I will follow through, 'cause I realize it's all about you. You. I will pursue what pleases you. Do what you tell me to, 'cause I realize it's all about you. You. Oh, I tried to find my own way through this maze. Thought I could make it to my place of destiny. But then I thought as you stood naked in humility. Now I clearly see, without you there's no me. Christ can do all things. It really doesn't matter if the enemy tries to harm me, 'cause no weapon formed will be able to prosper. I will let my light so shine, so everyone can see, not me, but he who started a good work in me, he shall complete it. I will pursue what pleases you. I will follow through, 'cause I realize it's all about you. You. I will pursue what pleases you. Do what you tell me to, 'cause I realize it's all about you. You. I will pursue what pleases you. I will follow through, 'cause I realize all about you. You. I will pursue what pleases you. Do what you tell me to, 'cause I realize it's all about you. All about you.
Thank you, Ronnie. See you next week or sooner. Lesson. The lesson. Come home. You who have got through all those heart-crushing experiences. So much trauma. It could have crumbled your bones. Yet here you stand before me, beautiful and strong, awe-inspiring. But I'm not so sure that you pulled yourself out and away from the wreckage whole. It feels as though you left a piece of yourself in that pace, cutting it away so you could run, closing your heart and your ears to your own whispering cries of help. And now there seems to be a slice down your middle, a missing piece from your center, creating disharmony and uncomfortableness within your very bones. Perhaps it is time to stop your survival sprint and put your hand on your heart, feeling into the places that are tender and torn away, gently pulling them out of the wreckage and into your flesh, your embrace, without harshness or self-criticism, but instead finding feelings of compassion and kindness for the lost and starved parts of you. For this is how they come home. This is how you make what is broken whole. And taking the golden thread of care that is contained within your sewing kit of recovery, slowly stitch yourself together, singing the songs of healing, reminding yourself with each stitch of the medicine woman or shaman within, who turns the darkness into light, the wound into a gift, the death into rebirth. As you whisper these stories of strength, courage, and medicine deep into your fabric, You call yourself back, drawing your essence into the heart of you once more, teaching yourself how to love yourself, stitch by stitch. Bridget Anna McNeil. This is the lesson Spirit wants us to address. The acknowledgement of the wounds, but putting ourselves in place as that being of divine authority who can heal ourselves. The concern that we've repeated through the past 3 lessons, the beliefs about ourselves we developed during our formative years. This is any time from the time we learned our listening or learned to speak, our formative years, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. They're especially powerful in imprinting our subconscious and our habitual patterns of behavior. Such patterns may limit and blight our entire lives unless we seek them out to understand them and to heal them. Our ego mind persuades us of our individuality and possibly the fact, we don't need to go back there. I can handle it. I'll think us through. But stay tuned. Those wounds will speak to you. They're always on. Just like your mind is always on, but making a louder noise. But your mind is not all of you. It's just this aspect of your human life. You are above and beyond. You are creator, and this is your co-creation. And when you're hurt, you forget yourself, loved ones. You forget yourself. You look for wholeness, acceptance, sometimes even direction outside in the external influences, in other people. The other people you love, you befriend, you work with, are inspired by, dislike, dismiss, ignore, and even people we might say you hate. And we want you to know that those choices, those places that you inserted people, that's right, inserted people, those people you love, befriend, work with, are inspired by, dislike, dismiss, ignore, and even hate, were unconscious choices, in the most part, for the most part, choices of habit and patterns. We want to go back. Let's go back to the beginning. We want you, Spirit says, be attuned and aligned of all of this. Free will is a sacred contract between us, man, woman, with the divine, given access to the portal between heaven and earth. We designed our journey, our sacred journey of life. We designed it. We intended it. We created the script, the setting, the actors, and the audience. Then we were patted on the head and we were sent off. Our divine blessed us. Source, Father, Mother, they blessed us with this gift of free will, where we were basically granted freedom to fulfill on our journey in any manner, and we would not be interfered with. Now ask and we shall be given healing. And many people have asked, and the intention of this lesson today is because spirits heard your hearts. Spirits heard your hearts. We will not be interfered with, but they offer here today just the opportunity to look. Let's look. We've been graced with the tools of intuition and creation and this physicality. This is how we were set on our way. But now, what is your way? What do you intend to make happen in this lifetime? Because you occurred and you're here now in this lifetime. You're here real in this reality of illusion, uniquely, with your cast of characters. with the first, second, and third premise of the tensions that are going on in your life right now. Now let's return. Let's return. Given this is the performance, what's the outcome? What did you promise your higher self that was witnessed by the divine? What did you promise? Where are you off purpose? And if there is pain in your life right now and you attribute it to a person or persons in your life, Spirit's reminding you there's no accidents. They're here. They're part of the lesson. And there's no goodbyes, friends. There's no goodbyes. If there's no completion, it's all hello. It's all hello. All hello. And what's in your way of managing it? Where do you feel drowned? No air, no possibility, stuck. Well, what we want to do is we want to have you do a closed-eyed exercise. And we want you to go back in time. Just go back in time. We're going to start at the beginning of these decisions you made that are actually why people are in or not in your life. Go back in time. Again, when you've just learned to speak, or as I said, you can remember because you were listening. You understood language, although you hadn't managed your own vocal apparatus. And you can always feel. Children feel the energy. What was the first moment? When was that first incident that you did not feel safe? You did not feel safe. Look back. Look back. Just be present to it for a moment as an observer and then look at what happened. Look at a moment you did not feel loved or you thought the love and attention you had was withdrawn. And what happened? You did not feel loved. You did not feel heard. You were invisible. What happened? You did not feel connected. You did not feel connected. You may have been dismissed. Your feelings, your thoughts were dismissed. So not only were you ignored, your father or mother actually looked and said in words that had you experience being dismissed. Look to see what you decided. What did you decide? And you decided it not just about yourself. It's not just you deciding a quality about yourself. You made a decision so you would never feel unsafe again. You would never feel ignored again. You would never lose that love again. What happened? What happened? Because there was a period of time as a young person, and there still is, and this connection may still be there, that you are suffering from and still bound up by what John Bradbury calls the tyranny of family reinforced behavior traps. The tyranny of family reinforced behavior traps. Because, fellows, mates, friends, our parents could only offer us and their raising up of us what they were offered. And they may have been fed, and they had their blanket, and they were protected. They had a roof over their head. But it hasn't been common to train and develop a child, to actually bring in parenting as a spiritual obligation as well. Just didn't happen. And there was trauma. Now we're not going to talk here because there are some people who've suffered terrific, deep, physical, emotional, and mental wounds from abuse. And that will take a village to support that person to heal. This, though, is for us who every day in life look and are well contained, successful, ambitious, can make things go. So we don't know what's not working. See, when everything's sort of working and the paycheck comes home and the car starts and nobody's sick, we don't know. But now the pandemic has actually created circumstances for people where, because the externals have been muted, there are things to look at. There may be 24/7 days with people we thought we loved and we don't like them. Or we're getting re-in-touched with. There's a renewal that's possible because there's a consciousness that's now possible and awareness. So, what did you decide? I'm going to just share my experience because my experience when I first did this exercise was a point in time when my mother, who was a widow with 5 children, had to go to work. And I just remember her as the 7-year-old complaining that she was tired when she got home and dinner wasn't ready when she got home and the kids were noisy when she got home. And I thought, aha. So this one day, put on her apron, made dinner, had all my brothers and sisters in the one room watching TV, set the table for her, and I was waiting and heard her heels coming up the steps, and she opened the door, and I was so excited, and I started to run toward her, and she put her hands up and said, "Not now, not now." And what I felt like in that point in time was I wasn't enough. All of this was still not enough. And I became a very, very unconscious at that point in time overachiever, overdoer, over rescuer, over lover, over helper. Now I got the opportunity to see that in some work I did and maintain it, but it's still my automatic. I still fall victim to I'll never be enough, I can't do enough. And if I love you, I'll never, ever, 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 ever be able to love enough. What's yours? Now I'm, again, manage it, bring it back where I can. I look to see where it impacts me as an adult. But you look at yours because there's a loss of will. There's a loss of intentionality when this unconscious behavior to protect you from being denied or suppressed, when you have a fear of confrontation or the fear of being alone or the fear of being rejected, it comes from this wounded child who never got to embrace themselves, never got to heal, never got to resolve and make themselves safe so that they came to being whole and complete. And spirit is committed that we understand that we're whole and complete, that in this life and in this rationality, in real time, there are these 4 bodies that make up who we are as human: mental, emotional, physical, and intuitive. And what it's asking us to do is remember that these were lessons. Remember that these are lessons. These are not stop goes, yes nos, bad goods. These are lessons. These are lessons. And as I said to someone recently in one of my retreats, think of the affinity symbol. Think of the affinity symbol. That we have these high moments. Something happens, it starts to bring us down. But at that point in time when we feel we're losing our power, we feel we're losing direction, where we feel we're losing ourselves, let's touch base. Go here. Come back. Observer. Higher power, to your divine authority. Just for the moment. Because as soon as you take a breath, friends, as soon as you are aware of and can distinguish something happened, you now have power again. You're now restored to a place of, hmm. And it's an energy of innocence at that point in time. Before you make up your mind, something's bad or wrong, or they're bad and wrong, before you make up your mind, this is not working, this must end, before you make up your mind that only one room of your mansion, check in with check in with your body and what it's feeling and what it's related to and what it may be calling up. Check in with your heart. Always check in with your heart. Your heart will free you up. Because if you can acknowledge whatever that fear is, if you can acknowledge whatever that loss is, if you can acknowledge you came less than. You can restore. And you begin the upward movement of the other side of the infinity symbol. Yes, you begin to reach again that highest point of being effective, being committed, being on purpose again. And understand that we are internal beings, our experiences are eternal, and they're not either or, and they're not end alls. They're lessons. And remember, if you could stand back again, that you're the author, you're the creator. This is your creation. If there is some intention here, look at all the forces that make up the moment, that moment when you began to lose power. All of the forces, the intellectual, the emotional, the intuitive, and the physical, because the physicals can get us connected to a past incident. We may have the opportunity then to cure, heal. We want to visit the four rooms. We've got to get beyond the pictures, the labels, the judgments, the opinions, because they've all come from that imperfect, wounded past, where we were given this set of encyclopedias at 4, 5, and 6, and told by our moms and dads, that's the truth. That's the way we do it. Navigate between these emotions that come up when you're hurt, when you're lost, when you're disappointed. Move between the bodies of energies that make you up, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Be present. Be present without judgment. Be present with the innocence of this child. Go back. Go back. This is really the first time you've ever been here in this moment. Go back and allow the flow of all of that energy be made available to you. Be aware. Be aware of all of the clues before you choose. Our heart will remember, and it will re-remember if we allow it to be open, and if we're open to all the information that's made available to us. And the information will come up. The other thing too is to be patient with this process when you're in relationship. And there's that hurt. We're only talking about relationship now, whether it has something to do with the people at work, the manipulator, whether it has something to do with broken relationship, broken word, disappointment, dissatisfaction in your friendships. It doesn't matter. Before you make a decision, take a look at all the energetic forces that are impacting you. Own and tolerate the truth of all that makes you up. Own and tolerate the truth of all that makes you up. Add a sense of humor. This is what I usually do when. And speak it. Be authentic in the speaking to the person you're dealing with, because that opens up our intuitive domain. And then we have access to return to our defined authority and get in touch again with the purpose, the intent, the design of the life we each created. And we can then heal ourselves with that natural gift we each have. Healing comes from within, folks, not from without. Healing comes within, not from without. Surround yourself with music, add fragrance. Find that safe person. Be in open communication in a safe space with your safe person. The process of discovery there is titillating and amazing. And once you see it, it doesn't go away. Once you uncover that place in yourself, once you allow your mind, your heart mind, to direct the action, the traffic, instead of the ego mind, there's relief. There's relief. We move through the confusion to a very prompt, intuitive response. So the teachers want you to be aware that the whole casing of this life impacts all the rest of it. And there is no right way, and there's no end. Please remember, there's no end. You're in a process. You're eternal, and the energy is eternal. And if you don't complete the lesson, if you don't stand in touch with, even in the most painful place, if you don't stay in touch with that energy, if you sprint from it, if you hide from it, it didn't go anywhere. It's not resolved. It's not completed. The lesson will return. Like the affinity symbol, that lesson will return. For our closing, own it. Own the fact that you are different. Own that you are a deep feeler and thinker. Own the fact that you are tuned into a different frequency. Own the fact that you sense things others don't. Own the fact that you want to talk about angels and energy, miracles and spirituality. Own that you're done having meaningless conversations. Own that you're done holding yourself back. Own that you crave freedom to feel the now. It's okay if your family doesn't get you. It's okay if the world judges you. It's okay that you want to dance barefoot upon the earth and endlessly gaze at the stars. It's okay that you cry over sunsets and chase moonbeams. It's wonderful, in fact. It's beautiful. You have come a long way to be who you are, so own it. Own all of it. Love all of you. The world needs you to be exactly as you are. You hold the balance in this crazy world. Erica Stanton. So Spirit's asking you again, please reach out. Please reach out for assistance to your higher self. But please also remember, and this is the other coaching they want you to be offered, when you're interacting with a person that you're committed to, that is part of the design of your life, the construct of your life, begin to see who they are spiritually. Begin to look in their eyes that will give you the hint of who they are as a possibility. Move beyond, and especially when you begin to meet new people, move beyond what that physical evidence is, those judgments that you have, and lift your eyes a little bit, and you will see their spirit. You can train yourself to recognize the spirit. And inside of that, perhaps at that point in time or soon thereafter, get the sense of the connection, get the sense of the intention of the relationship. Fall in love with spirit, and then let the physical and the mental and the emotional follow. Fall in love with their spirit. Trust that. Trust yourself. And I wanted to say again that we appreciate donations and offerings to the Sacred Journey of Life 2020 at gmail.com. And I also want to offer again the telephonic consults that I do one-to-one for you. If you see something, any of these messages, something's triggered and I can offer you further support, please call, text, message. Those are available to you. We still have the one-day retreats, which we're going really, really, really great. So the adage is, you have a spiritual direction in your life. You gave yourself an assignment. We're committed that you fulfill on it and that you manifest a great, exciting, lovely life. So do not just be a living thing, be a living soul. Please. We offer you whatever tools and resources we have. Please, if you're in pain right now, don't stay there. Redeem yourself. Redeem. Redeem the situation. Redeem it. You are a very powerful being. I love you. Namaste.